Hello there, everybody. I'm WaitWhat, and I'm back with Yousei, and Gursky is right there, and it's awesome. Like I said, continuing right off, so let's do this. I sigh and hang my head. It wasn't me, officer. The word sounds so recited by now.
Right, it never is.
Detective Gursky rubs the side of his head as if he's already got a headache. He steps closer to me and lowers his voice.
Where are the others? Aki's not supposed to let you out of her sight.
She's the one who told me to split off from the group. Sorry.
Never mind.
He pulls out a phone and taps the screen a few times.
All on campus, at least. That's good.
Are you tracking them?
It's part of the job description.
Are you tracking me?
Are you sure you want to know?
Not really. Detective Gursky taps on screen a few more times before pocketing his phone.
Alright, what's this all about?
She says I broke into this lab.
Officer, we have video evidence of his entry.
Breaking in, huh?
He frowns at me.
Did he take anything?
He did. He copied some research for a project we're working on.
She glances at the mirror.
It's important.
And when did this break-in take place?
Last week, Monday night, 10:52. We found out about it on Tuesday morning.
Gursky turns to me.
Where were you at that time?
At that time, I was on a bus heading towards Edgewater. I wasn't even in the city at the time. But I lied about my name when I got the ticket. There'd be no proof it was me on the bus. The door bursts open, and a girl with platinum blonde hair and white eyes pokes her head into the room. Is it Chance?
She was with me!
Yay! Chance? In the doorway stands Chance Jackson, part-time barista and full-time aspiring singer, and on the side, criminal mastermind. We first met at a coffee shop last week. That's when I tripped over the dead body that got me tangled up with all this craziness. I didn't expect to see her again, and I certainly didn't expect her to lie to cover for me.
Miss Jackson?
Detective Gursky is just as surprised as I am.
Officer, hello again.
Chance gives Gursky a small wave.
I was just coming by to drop off lunch for my boyfriend and I heard they caught a thief. But you've got it all wrong. It's not him at all.
She looks at me, and her eyes begin to well up with tears.
Don't arrest poor con guy.
Or con guy?
He glances questioningly at me out of the corner of his eye. I shrug.
She was at the coffee shop with me last week. We're open late and he was there the whole time.
Is that true?
This might be my only alibi, but I don't know if I should lie any more than I already have. Oh, Chance, you're trying so hard. Yeah, I was at the coffee shop.
That's not possible. Our cameras caught you.
Well, your cameras are wrong. I know what I saw.
Chance stomps her foot on the ground, as if to prove a point. Jupiter doesn't seem impressed.
There's no need for your theatrics, Bertha.
Chance flinches at the mention of her birth name. Looks like these two don't get along very well. I'm not sure I want to know the history.
Officer, you can't trust the testimony of a witness who is clearly biased towards the accused.
Whoa, I don't know if she's biased towards me, but it is weird that she'd go out of her way to help me out of this situation. Gursky looks at me with a critical eye. I turn my head to avoid his gaze.
Show me the video you mentioned earlier.
Of course. Follow me.
Gursky points at me.
You come with us.
What?
I'm not letting you out of my sight, kid. Now get up and let's go.
Right. I scramble to my feet and follow him out the door. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Chance slip away from the group, looking for her boyfriend, I guess. Nope. Jupiter leads us down the hallway, around a few corners, and into a large room hidden in the back of the building. I kind of expected a huge jumble of beakers and test tubes filled with mysterious boiling liquids, but everything's a lot more ordered than that. A lone laptop sits on one of the counters. Jupiter strides up to it and types in a password.
Right here. David and I are the only ones with clearance to view the security footage, so none of the others have seen this.
The screen lights up with the video that I found at Mr. Opton's place last week. There's not much to it, just someone who looks like me walking down the hallway. At one point, he glances briefly up at the camera and offers a small salute.
Well, that's not very subtle.
It's also not me.
Then who is it? Your evil twin? An android?
Could be. I don't know. Detective Gursky sighs and turns to Jupiter.
Could you give us a moment?
He grabs my arm and drags me to the corner of the room.
Listen, kid, you're on really thin ice here. We all thought highly of you and your sister. But who's to say you haven't changed these last 3 years? You've disappeared without a trace, and 2 people have died since your return. The worst part is, all of these deaths tie back to your history. You don't think that's at least a little bit suspicious?
But I didn't...
Even if you didn't kill them, you're involved. Give me a good reason why I shouldn't just arrest you now.
Because we're buddies, Gursky!
Because he's with us.
Aki places a firm hand on his shoulder and looks him directly in the eye.
And you know what that means.
I'm well aware of what it means. Are you?
He releases his grip on me.
What are you doing here anyway?
Aki holds up her phone.
You texted me in order to come right away.
She doesn't bother to hide the sarcasm in her voice.
And when my handler says jump?
I meant, why are you at the University of Edgewater? I wasn't informed that you were on assignment. And where are the others?
With their tour guide, as they should be. We're here on official business. I called it in this morning.
She folds her arms across her chest.
Schultz gave us the green light.
Schultz? Hang on, she's involved? Aki and Detective Gursky look at me, surprised.
She's the one in charge of our little work program. Didn't I tell you?
No, you never mentioned she was part of this.
Then how do you know her?
She was in charge of a similar work program with me. Aki's eyes light up.
Oh, Khan, you bad boy. I didn't know it was like that.
It's not. We volunteered for it. Unlike you, I didn't have to get arrested before I decided to work with the police. Aki shrugs.
Our way was more fun.
Yeah, that's one word for it.
Detective... This is funny. Detective Gursky rolls his eyes.
Anyway, as delightful as this game of compare and contrast is, we do have more pressing matters. So maybe one of you two wants to fill me in?
Aki coughs and shoots a meaningful glance over my shoulder. Jupiter's leaning against the wall staring at us. David and Nathan peer in through the doorway, trying hard not to look conspicuous. They're all staring at us. We're too far away for them to have heard our conversation, but they're definitely curious about what we're talking about.
Outside, then.
The tone of his voice says there's no room for argument.
Lead the way, officer.
Detective Gursky gives me one last look before he and Aki exit the lab. David and Nathan scramble to get out of their way, assembling into the lab like some sort of slapstick routine. Once they take it from each other, they quickly take up posts on either side of Jupiter. Okay, so yeah. No response. Great. The room falls silent, and I struggle for something to say. Or do. Or, I don't know.
And behind this door is our Cave of Wonders, the main lab.
Yay! Naoki and Lime. Aaron's voice echoes from the hallway, breaking through the silence. He swings the door open and sings a little fanfare.
Ta-da!
Naoki and Lime stand behind Aaron. They look relieved to see me. Oh, hey. Found my group. Heh.
Uh-oh. Looks like something bad happened.
His finger hovers instinctively over his camera, ready to capture whatever bad moment might occur.
He's the one who stole our research last Monday.
No, he's not. He's my host student.
Jupiter points to her computer screen.
Oh.
He turns to me with a hurt expression on his face.
Kangai, did you really steal from us?
No! I roll my eyes. I know what it looks like, but it's not me.
Then how do you explain it?
Naoki raises his hand timidly.
Who are you?
Kisaki Suitani.
My other host student.
Aaron casts him a sideways glance.
You're not a thief too, are you?
Hey, the jury's still out on me, you know.
That's hardly the point. What? If you have something to say, just speak up.
Oh, Okay.
Naoki approaches the computer and points at the person on the screen.
It's just that I noticed the hair is different. He doesn't have the black on the ends.
The guy in the video has solid, dirty blonde hair, unlike mine. I still have the remains of when I dyed my hair. Bleh. I still have the remains of when I dyed my hair black last year. Naoki had pointed it out the first time we watched it, but we just assumed the video was taken before I dyed my hair. This video was taken last week. That might actually count as evidence in my favor. Jupiter crosses her arms.
And what if he dyed it after this video?
But wouldn't he dye all of his hair in that case? Or get it cut?
I suppose, but it's still a flimsy alibi. Combined with an eyewitness account of you somewhere else, though.
She bites her lip.
Something feels wrong here, but I won't deny the evidence.
Maybe you could call it reasonable doubt? I mean, it's enough of a difference to think it might be someone else, right?
We'll see after the police sort it out.
Where'd that police dude go anyway?
Jupiter sighs.
Don't you two have somewhere to be? Like office hours in the library?
Oh, right.
Dios mío, do I have to remind you of everything? Try not to keep your student waiting too long.
The two of them scurry out of the room and slam the door shut behind them. The room falls into an uncomfortable silence, punctuated only by the sound of footsteps echoing in the hallway. Before their footsteps fade, the bell in the center of campus begins to ring.
And now they're late.
Something wrong?
I'm not sure.
Naoki frowns. He looks troubled.
It's not the same.
What's not the same? He turns away from Jupiter and whispers to me.
The bell sounds different than it did this morning.
I shrug. Sounds the same to me. It's probably nothing. It's probably a whole lot of something, but we don't know what it is yet. His expression tightens. If you care that much, go check it out. He bobs his head back and forth as if he's having trouble making a decision. Yes, we know. Naoki, you don't like going downstairs to a basement, let alone on your own in an entire school campus.
What's wrong?
I was just wondering if there was something special about the bell that just rang.
Not particularly.
We can go look at it if you want.
Are you sure?
Uh-huh. Let's go.
But what about Haru? Maybe we should wait for her.
You go ahead. We'll let her know where you are when she gets back. Naoki thinks about it for a moment before nodding.
Okay, let's go.
Aaron and Naoki leave, and the room again settles into yet another uncomfortable silence. That seems to be the theme of the day. Now might be a good time to try and convince Jupiter I'm innocent. I'm really sorry about all the confusion. If there's anything I can do...
No, not really.
But...
Listen, there's a lot going on right now. Even if you're not the thief, the research has still been stolen. And since I'm the one who has to do damage control, I don't have time for anything else.
Hey, did you miss me?
Not really. We all love you, Aki. Aki pokes her head into the room and flashes me a teasing grin. I'm not sure how to answer that.
You could say yes.
And where's the detective?
Out. He said he had to call someone.
Aki tosses herself casually onto one of the stools and spins around.
Where's my brother?
He went off to the clock tower with Aaron.
Why?
Her voice tenses up. He said the chiming sounded funny. He seemed really bothered by it, so I told him to go check it out. No big deal. It was probably nothing, but...
Nothing?
Crap. I pissed Aki off. Aki stands up so quickly that she knocks her stool over. Even Lee May looks a little worried.
Con, you don't understand. It's never nothing.
Got some nice music again. She turns to Lee May.
Are you getting anything?
Lee May shakes her head apologetically.
It is too far away. I cannot make anything out.
This is why you should tell me more about yourselves so I know what to do and what not to do.
Then we're going.
Aki strides out the door without another word, and Limei follows her obediently. I'm just gonna... Jupiter waves me off absent-mindedly.
Just go.
I rejoin Aki and Limei outside the biology building.
Which way did they go?
I think this path is the shortest. I point to a narrow path that cuts across the campus to the clock tower. Wordlessly, Aki takes off in a flat-out run, feet pounding against the concrete. Limei follows without question. Her steps are smaller than Aki's, but she seems to float effortlessly above the ground. I chase after the two girls, but it becomes increasingly difficult to keep up with them. Limei glances over her shoulder, noticing me struggling to keep up. She slows her pace a bit, holding a spot somewhere between Aki and me. My heart is pounding harder and harder. Since when was running this difficult? Aki disappears over a hill, and I find myself gasping for breath as I slow to an uneven jog. My head is throbbing too. What's wrong with me? As I drag my feet along the ground, I realize that Limei has stopped moving. She stands at the top of the hill, clutching her stomach. She and I are both feeling this thick. Crap. I reach the top of the hill, and we both stand in the shadow of the clock tower.
It's death.
Limei gives voice to what we both already know. My Kansei and hers are both churning in the presence of a dead body. Someone who died recently, from the feel of it. Listen, if you want to stay out here, I can tell Aki you're not feeling well. She shakes her head.
I will go.
I take a deep breath and still my nerves. Then let's go together. She nods, and we approach the tower. As we enter the tower, I feel another wave of nausea wash over me. I look around the small room, but there's nothing here. The sound of voices floats down from above us. It must be upstairs. Limei and I look at each other and nod. It better not be Naoki, though that would be odd. The two of us laboriously climb the wooden stairs up to the top of the bell tower. Now it would be hilarious if it was Liam randomly, because Chance is here. Maybe Liam is here. That'd be cool. With each step, I find it harder to breathe. I can't remember being this tired before. Whatever this death was, it must have been brutal to leave such a strong emotional imprint. I reach the top of the staircase and freeze. My mind screams out, telling me to turn around, to look away, but I don't move. Behind me, I hear Limei catch her breath. In the far corner of the room, Naoki sits curled in a trembling ball. His voice is stained with tears. Aki is kneeling next to him, holding him close and whispering words of comfort into his ear. At the other end of the room lies the remains of a mangled corpse, crushed by the weight of the university's giant copper bell. The mouth of the bell has nearly removed his torso. The body hangs precariously over the edge of the tower. The edge of the bell is still dripping with blood, and splatters of crimson trail down the tower walls. Ugh! Aaron paces back and forth, speaking a jumble of frantic words into a phone.
No, I don't know.
A voice at the other end of the phone tries to calm him down, but he grows increasingly agitated.
No, you don't get it. It's Dr. Johansson.
I just can't speak. And every time we go to meet someone, they're dead, or they die, or we find them dead. God. My stomach threatens to abandon me entirely, and I'm suddenly glad I didn't eat any lunch yet. Dr. Johansson, the only man who had answers, now lies in front of me, shorn nearly in two.
Khan.
Huh? Agi's voice snaps me out of my daze. She's staring directly at me. Naoki lies in her arms. His body is shivering, and his eyes are shut tight. Use your Kansei!
You need to go. The Kansei is going to overpower you if you stay any longer.
Okay. Leave then. I nod and turn away. She's right. I sit on the top step of the staircase and breathe slowly, trying to get my bearings. Limei sits beside me. She looks sad and terrified and very, very confused. Are you okay? She starts and blinks a few times, as if I've surprised her. Are you okay? She pauses to think carefully about her answer and sort out her emotions from ours.
No, I am not okay.
Yeah, me neither. We both stare down a long staircase of steps that we so painstakingly ascended. Neither of us wants to turn back to face the grotesque body. Finally, Limei takes a deep breath and stands. We need to leave.
Yes.
The longer we stay here, the worse it's going to be. We make our way down the staircase carefully. With every step, I can feel the weight of the dead lifting slightly. At the bottom, I pause for a moment to catch my breath. I can still hear voices echoing through the stone tower. Aaron sounds even more frantic than before. Something warm splashes against my cheek. Don't look up! Ugh, I suddenly feel sick again. I reach up and touch my cheek. I look at my hand. My fingers are stained with blood. No, please. I didn't touch the body, but I've still come into contact with the deceased. My concept is already creeping into my mind. I bite my tongue, trying to force myself to stay conscious, but I can feel my knees buckling under me.
Kongai.
I don't know. I don't want to relive this man's death. I don't. My struggles are useless. I can't hold back my concept anymore. The world goes black. I brace myself for the pounding that this man received, but it doesn't come. Instead, every part of my body screams with pain. I instinctively tighten my jaw, and my jaw complies. Wait, since when was I able to control my actions during these visions? There's something wet in my throat. I try to cough it up. In the distance, I can hear the faint echo of someone coughing. Is that me? I hear frenzied voices. Who's talking? Slowly, I turn my head and force my eyes open. Oh, she is. Aki is kneeling on the ground in front of me, staring at me with horror. She instinctively turns Naoki's head away from me and rests his face on her shoulder. Aaron stands nearby, open-mouthed. His phone slips from his hand and lands on the stone floor with a dim clatter. I can hear it, but it sounds so distant. I turn my head slowly. Where's the body? I don't see it anywhere. As I look around the room, realization sinks in. I can't see it, because I am the corpse. I try to speak, but my throat is filled with blood, little more than the sound of choked, bubbling taste through my lips. Aki looks like she's saying something, but my vision is starting to blur. Before I can do anything else, the world around me fades away. I see faces now. People I don't recognize. Voices I don't know. There's a weight on my chest. I'm sinking further and further, and the weight keeps pushing harder. Bright colors fill my vision, and my body feels like it's on fire. Everything feels like it's spinning faster and faster. I scream, but I don't hear anything. Finally, the world turns black. Should I end the episode here? No, I won't quite end here because the next video won't be until next week, and that's a horrible cliffhanger. So, yeah. I'll go for a little bit more. But yeah. My body aches. So does my head. I open my eyes slowly and find myself back in the sleep study room. I take a moment to inspect it more carefully. It's modestly decorated, but the colors appear carefully selected to be as uninteresting as possible. I'm lying in a bed. The mattress is equally bland. Not terribly comfortable, not terribly uncomfortable. All in all, I've never seen a room quite so neutral. So, we meet again.
Kongai.
I turn my head to see Limei sitting in a chair beside my bed. Hey, what happened?
You passed out.
Aki leans against the wall at the far end of the room. Her arms are crossed, and her expression remains casual.
Don't say any more. Someone might be listening.
Her eyes briefly flick towards the mirror set into the wall. Right. I hope Jupiter and her team aren't observing me right now. That would be all kinds of creepy. I give Aki a small nod, and I turn my head to face the ceiling again. Where's, Kizuki?
He's sleeping at the dorm.
Is he okay?
No, he isn't. He's overwhelmed and sick.
I'm sorry. I turn my head back and forth to inspect the bland room. So, what am I doing here?
Resting. Aaron's in his bed, Kizaki's in the other one. We figured you'd like a proper place to rest other than the floor.
Thanks. Aki allows a thin smile to crack across her face.
Thank Li Mei. She's the one who did most of the heavy lifting.
She sounds terse. Is there something I'm missing?
What are you talking about?
I mean, are you mad at me or something? Aki's expression tightens.
You let my brother go off on his own. You let him experience that horror.
I let him go? Since when was I his babysitter? In case you haven't noticed, he's a grown adult. He's not a child to be doted on. Li Mei glances at me, and then Aki. She looks worried.
I'm well aware he's not a child, but I'm not sure you understand that. You're the one who dismissed his concerns! If you trusted his judgment, you wouldn't have sent him off on his own like that.
That doesn't change the fact that it was his choice to go.
Konkai.
You know what? I think you're angry because he went and did something without your precious permission. I've seen how you treat him. You tell him where to go and what to say without any regard for what he wants. You just hate the fact that he made a decision without your approval. Agi's eyes widen, and she advances towards me.
You don't understand what it's like for him!
Li Mei stands quickly and places herself between us.
Stop.
It's the first time I've seen her look so determined.
You are both scared and confused, and you're mistaking it for anger.
Yeah, I guess she can sense that stuff, can't she? Or feel it?
We only have each other. Please do not destroy what we have.
Li Mei.
Li Mei nods at Aki.
Go see him. He needs you.
With a sigh, Aki steps back and shakes her head.
You're right.
She smiles sadly at Li Mei.
I'm sorry for making this hard on you.
She takes a moment to regain her composure before speaking again.
We'll have to talk later, Con. About what happened at the tower?
Oh, right. Yeah. Aki nods and shuts the door softly behind her. Li Mei sits at the foot of my bed and stares at me with wide eyes.
You're hurting.
A little. I'm still not sure what happened.
What?
Li Mei's voice is so quiet. I almost missed what she said. What? I lean towards her. She lowers her head to meet mine.
Kansai is strongest through touch. Contact with blood amplifies it. It is the purest and the strongest.
She reaches out and places her hand on mine for a brief second before flinching. My head is still throbbing. It must hurt her too much simply to touch me. I'm sorry.
No.
She turns away from me. I can tell she wants to say more, but she's struggling to find the words. We sit in a tense silence for a minute, avoiding eye contact. Listen. Li Mei shakes her head.
Please, just rest.
She smiles and rests her hand gently on mine again.
I will be near.
You're awesome, Li Mei. Thanks. I close my eyes and take a deep breath. This time, sleep comes easily. Gone are the bright lights and the weight of my chest, on my chest. I feel like I can breathe again. I'm not sure how long I sleep, but by the time I wake up, my mind is a lot clearer. Whoa. I sit up slowly. My body feels stiff. I look around the room. Li Mei is in the chair beside me, sleeping. Even in sleep, she sits upright, hands folded neatly in her lap. If it weren't for the subtle motion of her breathing, I mistake her for a work of art shaped by a master artisan. The lighting is still neutral. I can't tell if it's day or night. Now that I think about it, this room reminds me of that place. The lights were always the same, and the colors were always neutral. Ugh. Now that brings back bad memories. I reach out and place my hand gently on Li Mei's. Her skin feels cold to the touch. Li Mei! Her eyes fly open. In a single unbroken motion, she leaps to her feet and snatches up the pin on the table. She brandishes it at me like a small dagger. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! I curl up on the bed and hold my hands up in self-defense. It's just me! She looks surprised. I didn't mean to startle you, it's just... I thought you might be sick or something. Li Mei blinks a few times, as if she's just waking up for the first time. She looks down at the pin still clutched in her hand and flushes a light pink. Something wrong? She tosses the pin back on the table and averts her gaze.
No.
Okay, I get the hint. Conversation over. How long was I out for? She points to the bedside table. Unsurprisingly, Team Science has refrained from leaving a clock in the room, but the phone that Aki gave me is sitting next to the lamp. I pick it up and look at the screen. It's 5 p.m. already? Wow. Did I really sleep that long? They made nods. Where are the others?
Gone.
Okay. I dial Aki's number. The phone only rings once before she answers.
Khan, you're awake!
I should end this episode here, because it'll just keep going if I keep talking to people. So, yep. Ending this one here. I don't think it's much of a cliffhanger, so shouldn't worry too much. At least I hope not. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying it. Because, like I said, every episode, I sure am. And I'll keep on going. But this is Yousei, and I'll be back with more soon enough. Goodbye.